Welcome back to CCS Season 5. I'm back with Somber to close the 98 Top 10 MAC Clash. The number one overall seed in the MAC Conference Tournament on the line. Ball State goes head-to-head with number 2 Akron.
It's good to be back. It took a little bit of a break from CCS. I've been keeping tabs on everything, and I know that Ball State has a lot on the line, but so do the defending national champs, and we get to see here who's going to come out as not just the 1 seed in the MAC, but who's going to come out with maybe some allegations that they're not top dog in CCS anymore.
100% agree. I mean, again, last season Akron only dropping that 1 series to Drexel and got revenge in the national title game. This season, 1 loss to Drexel again. They've got the better of Akron now twice. 2-0 against Akron in best of 5s, 0-1 in a best of 7 when it came down to that title game clash. And Somber, we could see them go head-to-head again in the tournament this season. We'll have to kind of wait to see those 2 teams' fate. But tonight, newcomers to CCS, top 10, Ball State, the Cardinals from Indiana. Is it enough firepower to get the job done?
I think so. I know you and I were talking in the green room. I think if this goes the distance, it's going to come out Ball State. Anything less than 5, I think Akron has this in the bag. But Ball State has been on a massive come up in the CRL scene as a whole. Every league they've been coming out as newcomers, fresh faces, doing everything right on their side to get things going in the right direction. And I mean, hey, if they're this dominant, we just saw that Phoebe's committed to this school. It's going to be an even bigger, better squad, no matter how you shake up the rosters going into the fall. So them being on this hot streak to wrap out spring is absolutely insane.
Yeah, and Akron went unbeaten in the MAC play last season, but now they have a real threat with Ball State. So it's a new ball game, and I think we're going to get this rematch in the MAC Conference Tournament Championship game as well. So this won't be the first time, and it won't be the last time you see these 2 teams go head-to-head.
Yeah, it is definitely going to be a playoff preview, as well as I think that, most people would agree that this is going to be your grand finals for the MAC, but hey, who knows? We might see some action to switch things up, but we got this game in front of us. This is the final week before playoffs. Akron Gold taking on Ball State. See who comes out victorious.
That we do. Ball State, Akron Gold. And I've got these teams on the wrong side of the field, but you know what? I'm fixing it. It's all good.
It is all good. It's not a collegiate Rocket League stream without a little bit of some scuffed production, but nonetheless, it is going to be Akron Gold scoring first. We see it time and time again. This time, Jonathan to the backboard. Emilio quick to the read, up off the backboard and into the upper 90 off the bounce shot. 10 seconds is all it takes for the Zips.
First goal goes good for Akron Gold. Somber, I'm fixing the overlays. Can you yap for me a little bit longer?
Best thing I can do for you. Oxy with a pinch off the ceiling, down into the corner. It is going to be Milio again, once to the ball. Variety up early, gets a bump on Milio, and it's going to go to the backboard. Oxy down below with a shot. Jesse right there to meet Jonathan. Trying to take advantage of some scramble defense here by Ball State, but played that one well is Oltor. They're going to try to track it down, but Milio back to the sidewall with a read downfield. Jonathan looking for a redirect of their own. They do, and find that same upper left-hand corner. Akron Gold, absolute firepower to open up the game.
2-0 goes to Zips of Akron, and so we're talking in the green room about what to expect from Akron in this series. I told you they were not messing around. They're proving that. Tried and true tonight so far. A minute in.
Only 40 seconds off the clock. And yeah, I thought, hey, Akron Gold, they might think that they're still, a step above this Ball State squad. Might come out a little slow, but they have not missed a step to open things up. But Ball State still looking for that opening goal. Jesse out of the corner, one to the midfield, but Jonathan is there. Variety up, has a little bit of boost to work with, finds it off the backboard. Waterfall pass down, 2 defenders there for the Zips. Will clear it away. Jesse right back to that backboard, but Jonathan to catch. Oxy and Jonathan roll one with the teammates, and a redirect the wrong way for Oltor. Going to put it right back into the hands of Variety. Milio quick to it. Full tank of boost to their name. Tries to go for the reset down below. Plays it with the low shot. Variety awkward. Leaves it for Jesse to go. Jonathan out of the corner, saving some of that boost. Wanted the free flip out of the corner, but could not find it back central. But Akron's still on the attack.
30 seconds, a minute 30 into game number 1, and the overlay, I think, should be all fixed now. And Oltor delivers the first. Ball State, their first goal of the night, 2-1. The Cardinals within 1.
They're just waiting for all that gold to get off the scoreboard before they put one in for themselves. And it takes a little bit of time for them to warm back up, but a nice play out of the corner will net them their first goal. See if they can go ahead and cut this lead down even further, as we got 2 back-to-back 50s off the kickoff. Ilio, full tank of boost, just going to pop it up to the sidewall, but Variety is quick to it. Ultor on the pre-jump, gets the read, puts it center of net, but Oxy to deny.
313, a big save for Oxy. Keeps Akron within 1 in front for now. Ultor back to midfield, has help. Variety taken away by Jonathan. And again, this Akron defense, somber, just will not break. The defense just continuing to hold the line defensively. Ball State's offense very limited in the first 2 minutes and change of regulation.
Akron Gold is such a powerhouse on the offensive side of the ball, but they do know how to put up that brick wall and lock it down when they need to. And they are putting on quite a display of defense here, as they had that opening minute and a half, and an own goal, as I compliment their defense, is going to be what finally gets us back to even.
2:38 to go, the own goal. Jonathan delivers the great pass to Chat. Gets it done for the Cardinal offense. 2:30 and some change. It's 2-0.
Kickoff comes yet again, and it's going to be Jonathan and Jesse facing off. Variety does get the bump on Jesse, and Jesse falling through, gets the boost, and demo does come through on Variety. Ultor back down to the mid. Oxy to take away that read. Low boost for them as they try to get the touch off the sidewall. They do get the beat, but not before getting deleted for their efforts. Emilio is quick to it with an arrow angle read. Gets the third in for Akron. Doesn't take them long to get back out in front.
Emilio finds a third, gets the Zips back out in front, and Sombre, I think, ran for a very close night.
Absolutely, it's going to be back and forth. This is going to be telephone booth boxing. Tight quarters, not a lot of space given. It's going to be who can strike the fastest, who can strike last to go ahead and get the game win. Gonna be Ultor now with a dribble, has some boost in their name, cuts it back into the corner, has, I believe that's Jesse over on the other side, waiting in the wings, puts a shot on target. It is going to be a rebound, but Oxy too quick to the ball, clears it out to Variety. Oxy with a long clear downfield, one more touch to follow. Jesse on low boost, just going to take that one away from danger. Jonathan with a catch, has the musty, puts it on target, it's off the post, and Ultor going to clear this one through. Ball State trying to get the counter started, but Oxy is quick to it. Variety with a shot down below. Oxy on the recover defense, able to get it away. Ball State still on the attack. Shot does come through, but it finds the crossbar. Jesse no good on the rebound. Ultor just trying to keep this alive in the Akron half.
Minute 30 to go. Oxy off the ceiling. Up front over the first. Ultor caught in midfield. Jesse towards the corner. Back to Ultor. Emilio waiting and tried for Akron's defense. There's a big save. Minute 20 to go. Play still continuing in goal territory. Somber, but Ball State's offense pinned down again in midfield. That shot also wide. A rebound doesn't go as well. And Akron still within 1.
This seems almost like par for the course whenever I see this Ball State squad. I know it's been in limited sample size, but game one, the last series I saw, they shot a collective 3 for 21. And right now the shooting woes in game one still seem to be a little bit of an issue, finding the woodwork one too many times, as this should be maybe a 5-3 game or a 6-3 game, but can't find the back of the net on some of these opportunities. Still fishing for him out of the corner. Variety back to the backboard, and shot is just off target, a bit too soft for a rebound goal. He's going to find his way all the way down the pitch, but it is Variety to save that one through, tops up the resources, and now launches the counter downfield. Oxy quick to it at the midfield. Akron starting to park the bus. Final 30 seconds we find ourselves, and Akron still on the attack. Defense for Ball State will come through. Only a few more chances here if you're on the side of Ball State. Need to find a lane downfield.
12 to go in game number 1. Ball State need a goal here and now to give themselves a fighting chance in overtime. But Somber, that clear should as well do it for game 1. The ball still alive now on the ground. Akron 1-0 going into game 2.
Akron, they got put on their heels a little bit in the middle part of that game. It was 2-2, but the quick response and then locked it down on the defensive side. They got a lot of shots up as well, but made good on their opportunities. Shot a collective 3 for 8 with 4 saves coming via Jonathan and Oxy. Ball State, on the other hand, 2 for 7. You know, it's not as bad as maybe the shots towards the backboard may have looked. Some of them maybe counting as centers instead of shots on net, but Ball State needs to find the upper 90 or just under the crossbar instead of finding these post plays when they get the opportunities and get the looks that they need against Akron Gold.
100% agree, and I think in this series alone, I mean, Akron just 3 of 8 on shooting, and again, Ball State 2 for 7, so fairly similar shooting accuracies there, but Akron walk away victorious with a 1-goal margin victory in game 1, looking now for a 2-0 lead to put the Zips on a match point behind a performance Beyondathon that has led this Akron team now to a national title. Last season, trying to go back-to-back here this season.
Back-to-back would be absolutely lovely for this Akron Gold squad. They came in last season as newcomers. They were title favorites from the jump, and they'll look to be that way as we progress through the season. I know we brought in some new faces with Ball State Black, Mizzou coming in, Michigan State looking much improved and looking like they maybe have some hopes, and Drexel coming back maybe with a little bit of a vengeance, but Akron Gold are still those guys as they find a save on the back line. Oxy on the cleanup for the clear is going to keep this one scoreless now in the opening 30 seconds, but Akron Gold, they are on their, I don't want to say revenge tour, but that's the type of vibe that I'm getting. They want to come out, they want to dominate, they want to show that they are back, and they are in the MAC #1 for a reason.
Yeah, all these powerhouses should have no problem getting beyond, the first week of champs playing the first day on Friday, but when you get to Saturday and play into that top 16, top 8 situation, that's where things can really get dicey. We could see a lot of really good matchups at the tournament. I think both these two teams can make a deep run in April.
Oh, absolutely. I think that these are two teams that are basically a lock for top 8, in my opinion, especially the way that Ball State has been playing, not just in the CCS, but in the greater collegiate scene. I think that they have a lot to prove here in the CCS as well. Jesse, part of the crew, they want to come out and have a good showing in their inaugural season and place top 8 or higher and reach for the stars. But right now, it has just been Akron Gold time and time again as they're going to save that one through on the dribble back. It looked like it might have been almost an intentional own goal, but wanted to maybe give some false hope to Ball State on that play.
Yeah, and top 4 place in the money. 3rd, 4th place. If we drop out in the final 4, we still walk away with $50. And if you get to the championship game, you walk away with $100, and winning gets you $300. So again, top 4 places in the money. And again, no program has ever won CCS back-to-back seasons. Akron trying to do it for the first time here this spring.
And it's just a shocker, especially with how dominant that Colorado squad was, that they weren't able to complete the back-to-back in their stint when they had that trio over there with Brazy Yokes and excuse me, I'm forgetting the third, but we all know how good that thank you. We all know how dominant that Colorado squad was. So for Akron to have that opportunity to go back-to-back here, and especially coming out and winning their group back-to-back when their group has gotten so much deeper. We were talking about it. UMass has come in. They've been a great addition. Bowling Green has continued to look good. And then now having Ball State Black, the MAC is much improved and much deeper than it was last season. So to come out and claim your title as #1 out of the MAC and then also make deep playoff runs, it's going to be just an even bigger testament to what this Akron Gold squad is about.
Yeah, Colorado was able to win the Big 12 tournament back-to-back. We talked about complete dominance. Colorado joined the league in Season 2 and played for 3 seasons and never missed the Final 4. So, again, that's very much a dynasty here for Colorado. But again, hopefully we get them back this summer for one last run. But 2:11 to go here in game 2. Akron trying to establish a dynasty of their own in CCS Somber and go back-to-back with national titles.
Oh, Jesse's going to find the crossbar one more time. It looked like it was going to be good to go, but the woodwork comes out to play spoil to an equalizer from Ball State. Great first touch by Old Tor, but Oxy will come in and win that 50-50 out, even if it is slightly. Million out to the corner, one more touch for them. Variety now with the air dribble down the field, finds the touch on the dribble, tries to slice and dice the defense, and a favorable 50 will find its way to the back of the net. And finally, after Akron holding that 1-0 lead, we are back to even.
And Variety finds the first, I believe his first of the night as well, 1:39 to go. We're all even again in game 2. Akron led a majority of regulation play, but Somber Ball State able to equalize. Now all of a sudden a knock-in-net game as we close out the last minute 30.
Right into the corner, needs one more touch. Jonathan will be there to 50 and get the beat over the top The striker from Ball State encroaching on that back line for Akron. Milio to the skies. It's taken away by Variety. Oxy is there to get it back central. Jonathan to play the 50. Variety still sticking on this ball. Has plenty of boost to work with a dribble play. Flick over one. Oxy is there, but puts it dangerous. Jesse on the rebound shot will be denied by Jonathan. Oltor chasing them down, trying to shake up the defense over on the side of Akron. Variety off the backboard, able to just launch that one away. Oltor to follow. One more touch met by Jonathan. At the midfield is Jesse. Jesse downfield, wanted to find Oltor, but they crept up, trying to find that Akron boost. Oxy with a musty on target. Milio out of the corner, Jesse to meet. Jonathan keeping this tight rotation in the corner, puts a shot on target. Oxy at the midfield, going to stall out the attack for Ball State for the time being.
And Akron are so good at putting pressure on the midfield and turning in those weak offensive opportunities into transition to set Akron up offensively to go score. But again, they apply a lot of pressure. It's hard to break through the Akron press, and Ball State's dealing with that right now quite well. But you got to be able to deal with it for 15, 20 straight minutes if you're going to expect to have a chance to beat Akron.
And that's the tough part. Do you have the legs to stand up to this Akron defense, or excuse me, Akron offense? And I mean, even their defense too. Do you have what it takes to match their pressure and try to outshoot them and try to slug it out? And that's where we see Akron win out. And you talk about the best of fives compared to the best of seven that we saw between them and Drexel. Yeah, Drexel was able to get it through 3 games earlier in non-conference play this season. But when it comes to a best of 7, can you go the distance? As we see overtime here, Variety off the kickoff does have a shot, but not going to be too threatening for Akron here. Jonathan plays it all the way down the pitch. One more touch for them. They find the 50. Ghost touch from Milio does come out, but a save for Ball State will keep us alive here early in overtime.
Overtime, 20 seconds into overtime. Play off the ceiling. Jonathan on the double. It's good. Make it 2-0 Akron.
Akron dominant again. It takes overtime this time, and Ball State were able to close the gap just that much more, but the ice does prevail for the Zips as they're able to put this one on triple match point. Akron Gold just need 1. Ball State on reverse sweep watch. They need 3 to go. As again, the shooting was a little bit heavy on Ball State. This time you're 1 for 7, but a lot of pressure coming out from them. Again, just need to make good on that. Would like to see, this is desperation time. You want to keep the series alive, maybe see more aggression on the back line, some demos come out, but Akron Gold just very fluid, and that's easier said than done.
Yeah, and Akron Gold can win consecutive regular season conference titles and lock up the number 1 overall seed in the MAC tournament in consecutive seasons with 1 more win in this series. And we talked in the green room pregame and kind of expected this series to at least go to game 4, and if it falls to 5, Ball State would win. But now all of a sudden, if it does go to 5, it would have to come via a reverse sweep, which is a very tall order, especially against a team like Akron.
Yeah, very tough to bring it to 5 at this point in the game. Right now, you got to take it touch by touch, goal by goal here in game 3, as your hopes for the 1 seed out of the MAC are on the line right now, and Akron Gold just look, I want to say perfect. They look so tough to take down right now. Everything seems to be clicking. They're able to dribble it all the way to their own back line like we saw last game and make it look like it's going to be an intentional own goal just for them to skirt past and save it. They seem like they can do no wrong, and Ball State needs to find any kind of chip in the armor right now.
Yeah, and Ball State has scored 3 times tonight, one of which was an own goal, completely done by the hands of the Akron defense on a mistake. So Ball State only has 2 true goals tonight so far, Somber, through 11 minutes here. So that part of the series has to change. You're not going to beat Akron scoring once a game. That's just not how it's going to work. So if you're Ball State, your offense has to adjust. It has to get a little bit better as the Akron defense continues to adjust to be highly more efficient as the series goes on.
Yeah, it just also seems like we're trying the traditional infield pass. We're trying the Mechie solo play to the backboard and hope for a cleanup. But Akron Gold, their defense is swarming. They will find multiple people on the ball. You're going to get instant clears off of their save attempts. It's not going to be as easy as dunking them on their back line, because before you know it, that ball is already out to the midfield stripe. You got to move quicker on the offensive side. You got to be more fluid through their back line. I think that's where some demos would help. But again, If you already have two people in net and you can only delete one of them, that still leaves a defender to try to shoot past. It's much easier said than done when you're talking about this Akron Gold defense. Yeah, you can see how to beat them, but it's can you? Oxy with a dribble, going to be taken over by Milio on the team bump, but maybe turns into the right play as they're able to grab the boost and follow this one through the corner. Will be a 50-50 over to the other side of the pitch. Ultor with a flip reset. Only goes as far as Jonathan, though. Jonathan will find themselves with an air dribble play. Variety bumped off the backboard, and Ultor will find a little bit of room, but taken away immediately by Milio as they play that one into the corner.
3 minutes to go on the clock here. And Somber, I mean, again, it just feels like Akron, they're so quick to adjust with the 50-50s, and Oxy will find a goal one. 2:50 to go. And again, Akron just feels like it's a perfect showing.
Yeah, they're getting the bump on Variety on that play. Jesse, they want to play that out in the corner for Variety to take over, but they're already getting bumped. You have a shooter in your face. Defense doesn't know where the ball's going, where the shooter's coming from, and it ends up in the back of your net. And that's what Akron Gold does, is they lull you to sleep. They get a slight little bump here to mess it up even the slightest bit, and then they find that gap and attack with force. And that has been what we've seen throughout all season from Akron Gold, and it's what we are going to continue to see throughout this game 3 unless Ball State can find a way to kind of stop the bleeding right now. I know it's only 1-0, but it has now been 3 consecutive games where you've conceded the first goal and you have had very limited looks on offense. Ultor to the backboard might have a look here. It's going to be a bump of their own, and I almost spoke it into existence. They finally pull out a bump play, and lo and behold, they put a goal in the back of the net.
Yeah, so much needed one too. Equalize this series, give yourself a chance to keep contending with a team like Akron that, again, as we both know, Somber, only one loss ever in CCS. It is to the same team. They've lost to Drexel twice, but it's the only team that's ever been able to beat Akron in CCS.
But like you said, there's also the caveat of it was non-conference play. It was a best of 5. You didn't get to see where Akron, when they get a tough opponent like a Drexel, where they get the benefit of extra games. But hey, this is why we play best of 5s. We get to see these shorter game series and what you have made, or what you're made of in these short opportunities. And then when we get to playoffs, that's when you really get to flex your pedigree and your mental and your ice by coming out and playing a full best of 7. But right now, a best of 5 is looking like it's all it's going to take for Akron Gold. I think if you could put this at a best of 9, they'd still come out and have the same performance. Doesn't matter how many games you have. Ball State is still struggling to find any sort of offensive identity. They're doing well enough to keep Akron knotted up for a majority of these games, but late game, Akron Gold starts attacking that net and they find that go ahead and then just clam up, park the bus.
A minute to go here, and statistically in the course of the season, Ball State is ranked higher than Akron. I mean, they sit 4th on the net rankings in CCS. Akron 10th, so this is a quad win for whoever does come out on top. But again, 1-1 currently in game 3, and right now Akron Ball State all even. If you're Ball State, you have to score next. This is a must-win game if you want to have a chance to fight with Akron. What we saw last game, go to that overtime where Akron ended off the double from Jonathan. But again, it's just like dealing with double attempt there. Jonathan, I call his name, almost delivered the final blow.
Akron Gold pulling out the flashy plays, even with this one knotted up and heading into the final 30 seconds. Confidence at an all-time high on their shot selection. Emilio going to find a drop down to Jonathan, and it's going to be Variety to clear that one through the corner. Oxy quick to it. Jesse to interrupt the play to the backboard. Emilio out of the corner. Slow play with a 50. Oxy is a little bit too far behind to make a touch on that. Jonathan to Oxy on the sidewall. Gonna get the clean beat over to Milio. Milio to the corner, looking for the read. Does not find it, but does find Oxy, and it's going to end up being an own goal. Defender had to put a hand up, but puts it in the back of their own net.
And Akron with 1 second left, Oxy finds a shot to potentially win it, and they're so confident in their shot selection. They are more than confident in going for whatever it takes to score, Somber. We saw a couple of different shot selections, and they finally got a look they liked. Akron Gold, 3-0 over Ball State to remain unbeaten.
Oh, man. Looking back on that replay, it looked like Variety wasn't expecting Ultor to hit the brakes there. They had a bit of a cleaner look on getting that save, and Ultor hit the brakes and backflip that one into their own net. That's going to be a a definite point of contention on the VOD review where they look back and say, hey, we got to communicate that better, because that was the game losing goal right there. That could have been an easy save for Variety, but however you chalk it up, Akron Gold had so much momentum. I don't know if Ball State would have been able to get that done in overtime, but hey, shout out to Ball State. You're wrapping up the 2 seed. Akron coming out as your 1 seed out of the MAC, and you will definitely have your shot at revenge here in group playoffs.
100% agree. I think this is a best of 7 we'll see later on in the MAC Conference Championship game, I'd imagine, in the tournament, but we'll have to wait and see how the cards fall, and I'm excited for it, but it's been Nation Somber. We'll see you guys next time, probably Saturday night, so I won't be live tomorrow. I'm going to be at the basketball playoff tournaments or college basketball, but anyway, it's Nation Somber. We'll catch you guys later on.